All right, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're diving into the brilliant work of top-ranked cognitive behavioral therapy specialist Veronica Walsh. What we're doing is taking those heavy, sometimes intimidating clinical concepts and transforming them into a really colorful toolkit of brain-friendly skills that actually stick. So if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by all that clinical psychology jargon, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to break down her absolute best strategies for unconditional self-acceptance and basically turn what usually happens behind closed doors in a therapy room into totally usable concepts for your everyday life. But before we actually crack open that mental toolbox, I want you to just pause and ask yourself this one question. How do you talk to yourself about yourself? Seriously, think about your internal monologue for a second. Is that voice in your head acting like a supportive best friend, or is it more like a really harsh critic? Is your internal dialogue actually helping you navigate your daily life, or is it kind of hindering you? Just hold on to that thought as we jump in. Okay, here is our game plan today. We're covering 5 parts: normalizing your anxious mind, meeting your anxious personas, banning the mental postmortem, naming and taming your emotions, and finally, embracing why you are a work in progress. So kicking things off with Section 1, normalizing your anxious mind. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that you're not broken. You're just wired differently. Think about it. We absolutely love fictional characters like Bridget Jones or, those delightfully babbling, anxious roles Hugh Grant always plays in rom-coms. We view them as charmingly anxious, right? We're literally rooting for them. And yet, the second we feel even a little bit anxious ourselves, suddenly we're overly critical, demanding absolute perfection. It's crazy. Why can't we root for ourselves the exact same way we root for them? I really love this quote from the tennis legend Arthur Ashe: "Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can." The comedian Conan O'Brien once described himself as having a heart that beats like a hummingbird, while his business partner has this slow, turtle-like heart and will probably live to be 160. But Conan doesn't apologize for his fast-paced, anxious wiring. It's just his thing. Different people function differently, and that is absolutely fine. Start with the hummingbird heart if that's what you've got. Actually, let's look at the science for just a second. Hyperarousal basically means you're wired to be hypervigilant, high energy, hyper-aware, and highly sensitive to stressors. Now, some of us are born this way because of genetics. Some of us are made this way because, well, big things happen to us. And for some, it's a mix of both. But instead of looking at this dysregulation as some kind of failure, what if you recognized it as a unique wiring? In fact, that exact same hypervigilance can literally be harnessed as a superpower when an actual crisis hits. All right, moving right along to Section 2, meet your anxious personas. This is all about externalizing that anxious voice to completely shift your power dynamic with it. Because anxious self-talk is usually super dramatic, negative, and honestly, frequently wrong, we need a way to separate ourselves from it. And by assigning these funny, relatable characters to your anxiety, it becomes so much easier to just step back, detach, and respond with some authority rather than totally panicking. So if you feel like a dramatic disaster, well, that's just your Bridget Jones persona acting up. You can literally just tell yourself, "Hey, Bridget, you're doing your best." Catch yourself babbling and avoiding things? Tell Hugh Grant, "Oh, Hugh, it's fine, shake it off." Got that primal, clumsy panic that feels like poking a finger in an electrical socket? That's your monkey brain. Tell it, "Quiet down, monkey, I'll take over." And when you feel oversensitive, angry, and snarling, that's the wolf. Just say, "Whoa, wolf, back in your cage." By giving the anxiety a face and a name, you take your power right back. Now for Section 3, ban the mental post-mortem. We have got to stop the overanalysis loop. You know exactly what I'm talking about here. We all do this. We do something a little daft, and then we just replay it in our heads 1,000 times. But going over things so dramatically is exhausting and totally counterproductive. So next time you do something silly and start to cringe, just visualize an eye roll, a laughing face, or a casual shrug. Tell yourself, "Oh well, so what? Onward." It is a brilliantly simple mental cue to literally shake it off, let it go, and live to try another day. And here are a few more really powerful ways to interrupt those irrational thought loops. Try reminding yourself, "I'm human, we're messy." I mean, sure, it'd be great to have the perfect behavioral response every single time, but come on, that's not reality. It is absolutely crucial to remember that feelings are not facts. Just because you feel on edge doesn't mean you are actually in danger. And my personal favorite mantra, "I'll survive the zombie apocalypse." Seriously, remind yourself that a heightened state just means you are highly capable if things actually hit the fan. Bringing us to Section 4, name and tame your emotions. The goal here is simple: mind over mood. We have to remember that feelings are very often totally out of proportion to events, mostly because they're heavily influenced by our trippy, overactive nervous systems. The key is to not let the emotion just wash over you and carry you away. And this step-by-step process is brain-friendly CBT in action. Step 1, you feel the temporary emotion. Step 2, label it clearly. Literally say out loud to yourself, "Oh, here's rage," or "Yikes, jealousy, not cool." Because by doing that, you instantly trigger step 3. You create a vital pause between feeling something and acting on it. And finally, step 4. That pause allows you to dial the emotion down and actually make a rational plan. It's a game changer for preventing those awful emotional spirals and self-sabotage. And finally, we're at section 5. You are a work in progress. Let's completely reframe your relationship with anxiety. See, the goal isn't to magically eliminate anxiety from your life forever. That's impossible. The goal is to accept it, regulate it, and live really well alongside it. Veronica Walsh gives us what I think is the ultimate self-talk mantra for unconditional self-acceptance. Try telling yourself this: yeah, I manage my anxiety like millions of other people, so what? I'm doing my best, and it's nobody's business but mine. Now that is taking ownership. It's another day, it's another shot at life, and absolutely nobody else gets to dictate your progress. It kind of reminds me of that great line from Alice in Wonderland. It's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then. You have to embrace the fact that you can reinvent yourself every single day, a fresh new page every morning. You don't have to demand that you feel hyper-confident 24/7. Just embrace the new you, and suddenly, managing your anxiety turns into a genuinely exciting adventure of self-discovery. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to decide, which of these brain-friendly skills are you going to put into practice right now, today? Are you going to channel your inner Hugh Grant and shake off a babbling moment? Are you going to create that vital pause to name and tame a big emotion? Think about it. If anxiety is just a byproduct of a highly capable, hypervigilant nervous system, what could you accomplish if you finally stopped fighting your own wiring and started using it?